Chapter 29. Saturday, March 31st through Sunday, April 1st. Money saved, $0. So, said Mom, intertwining her fingers as we sat around the kitchen table. Today's the day. She smiled at Lexi and me. How'd it go? Great, I said. Easy. Really? Said Mom, surprised. The contest is over, and if we get a pet, it will still be a lot of work for both of you. We've talked about it, I said. I'm going to still walk dogs, but I'm going to cut down quite a bit. And I'm going to tutor again, said Lexi, but a lot fewer students. So I guess that means we're getting a pet, said Mom. Otto? I shook my head. Not a dog. I didn't make it. Mom arched her eyebrow. Really? You worked so hard, too, and you were being responsible. Don't think I didn't notice. I handed her an envelope filled with bills. This is the money I owe you, for the toner and the bowls and stuff. I thought we were missing some bowls. Sorry, I mumbled. I guess I wasn't always responsible, but I tried, and we'll have to talk about my grades, too. I guess we will, she said in a not very pleased voice. But then she turned to my sister. Lexi, how much money did you earn? Lexi put a large wad of money on the kitchen table, a wide grin on her face. She smiled, but there was nothing sneaky or smug about it. It was just a happy smile. $500, she said, for Fluffernutter. Congratulations, Lexi, I said, and I meant it. I didn't tell Mom about our conversation last night. I didn't tell her that Lexi had fallen short too, but we had succeeded together. This was Lexi's moment. I was actually happy for her, sort of, kind of. I know she beats me at most things, but maybe that's because she works harder at it. I can't hold that against her, at least not totally. It would be nice to have an animal in the house. And who knows, maybe Fluffernutter would hate Lexi and love me. I wondered if I could make that happen. Keep some milk hidden in my room. Have a drawer filled with secret cat toys. Pipe supersonic noises into Lexi's room that are too high for the human ear to hear, but that a cat could hear, so it would stay away. This wasn't about getting a cat. This was war. No, strike that. I was done with wars, for now. Can we get it today? Said Lexi. There's a house a few blocks away giving away kittens. I just happened to see a posting on a website on your computer this morning. There was a picture, too. They are such cute, golden yellow with streaks of brown kittens. I know just the one I want. There's one kitten that looks just like a Fluffernutter. I admit it, the kitten was cute. She didn't have claws yet, so when she swatted your fingers, it felt like velvet cloth rubbing against them. When you held her in your hands, she purred softly, her stomach vibrating. I knew she would grow up to be a standoffish, not very cute adult cat. A yucky, good-for-nothing flea ball, but for now, she wasn't so bad. And I hated to admit this, too, but she sort of looked like a Fluffernutter. I wouldn't have named her that, of course, and I would never tell Lexi the kitten looked like a Fluffernutter, but the name seemed to fit, and Lexi called her Fluffy for short, which wasn't so awful. I'd have plenty of time to play with her since Mom grounded me for 2 weeks because of my grades. Except for school, dog walking, and soccer. Frankly, I felt worse. Fluffy bounded across the carpet and landed on my lap, where I gently scratched behind her ears. She doesn't like you. She doesn't dislike you, said Lexi. I think there was a tinge of jealousy there. After all, Fluffy had bounded into my lap and not Lexi's. But I'm sure she'll grow to hate you as much as I do. She can never hate me as much as I hate you, I shot back. Lame brain, cobweb cranium, dumb skull, cerebellum challenged amoeba-minded hollow head. But we both smiled after I said it. And you know what? It turns out I'm better at insults than Lexi. Who knew? Lexi lifted the kitten from my lap and held her in her arms. I watched her stroke Fluffy. I liked her more than I thought I would, but she was still no dog. Everyone knows dog people are clever, friendly, good-looking, funny, and overall fantastically wonderful, and cat people are not. Just because I tolerated Fluffy didn't mean I have turned into a cat lover overnight. Maybe in a year or two I could convince Mom that 2 pets were okay. A cat and a dog. The sound of barking interrupted my thoughts. A joyful, loud bark from outside. At first it made me a little sad, as if I were being teased, but the barking was getting louder and closer. It came from behind the front door, and the doorbell rang. When I answered it, there was Dad, holding a leash. Standing next to him, tongue and tail wagging, was a beautiful, light brown golden retriever. At first, I thought it was Alfalfa, but this was just a puppy, and when I looked into its dark eyes, I recognized him. "Thumper!" I said. "Dad, what's going on?" asked Lexi. She and Mom came into the hall behind me. "You know, I always wanted a dog as a kid," said Dad, "and all this talk of dogs made me realize I still wanted one. Mom called me yesterday and told me that Lexi won the challenge, and so I decided that maybe I could be the dog owner of the family. His name is Horseradish." "His name is Thumper, Dad," I said. Dad shrugged. "One of the great things about having your own dog is you can give it a name to him. I've always liked the name Horseradish." I questioned Dad's choice of names, but I couldn't question his choice of dogs. I bent down, and Horseradish ran over to me, leaping on my knees and licking my face. I grabbed him and rolled on the floor, rubbing him as his tail wagged and his tongue raced up and down my cheek. Horseradish was the rolling around type of dog. He was the licking type of dog. He was the loving and happy type of dog. Most important, he was my very own dog. Almost. And really, those are the best kinds of dogs of all. "Can I?" I started to say. "You can come over and play with him whenever you want," said Dad, stepping into the front hall and closing the door behind him. "You too, Lexi." Lexi still held Fluffy, and she came closer, slowly. Fluffy didn't seem scared. She just stared at Horseradish with her curious black eyes. Horseradish barked happily. When Lexi sat down, Horseradish nudged Fluffy playfully with his nose. "I think he likes her," said Dad. "I'm sure they'll be best friends." Mom laughed. I bet this was all her idea. "Can I walk him?" I asked. "Of course, you are the expert." Dad smiled. "Is it okay, Mom?" I asked. "I'm still grounded." "Go ahead," she said with a wide grin. I ran to the mudroom and grabbed my shoes and jacket, where I had hung them the day before. "Come on, boy!" I beamed, grabbing the leash from Dad. "I know a whole bunch of good trails we can take. And Dad?" "Yeah?" "We need to talk about his name." Fluffy meowed goodbye, or at least meowed, and I was off with Horseradish. "But Horseradish is still a much better name than Fluffernutter," I added, shouting over my shoulder as I stepped outside. I had soccer practice that night. I showed up on time, and Coach Drago hardly even screamed at me. We played a scrimmage, and I scored 2 goals. The last one, after I faked one way, kicked the other, and left my defender so confused he tripped, leaving me a wide-open shot. Malcolm scored 3 goals. And you know what? We both played on the first team, Malcolm on the left and me on the right. But I bet we'd be really good no matter who started. After all, it takes a team to win a game, just like it takes a team to win a war. And that's the pet war.